Hello, it is your sleepless god back with What If Frankenstein Monsters Was Real? As we talked about how from the books, we ended off with Frankenstein being in the North Pole and uh, about to kill himself as this beautiful woman. I forgot to give a name. Her name is Taylor. Taylor, this beautiful woman, comes in and instead of being like, "Oh yeah, perfectly fine, kill yourself," she's like, "Why would you?" That's the question. Why would you kill yourself? That's like you're a beast, you're a monster. Instead of you just killing yourself and all the things you did wrong are now gone. No, they're not. You still did those bad things. You become better. And through the hundreds of years that he lived, he became better. But he made a deal with her. With this advice and with the power he's obviously going to get a little bit. When she's husband is supposed to be put out, or aka she's supposed to get a husband, you are my husband. You have to fight for me. As he agrees. As a long time passes, and he get calls on by Taylor. Taylor basically introduces him to his family, to her family, and he introduces him to his father, her father, clarification. And he states that I'm Frankenstein's monster, but my friends call me Lucy. As that's where we ended the video last, let's start it. Now, how the system works is very simple in a sense. Frankenstein is only allowed to talk to Taylor's dad for one simple reason. She marked him. If none of that happened, let's say she didn't mark him at all, Frankenstein is a different breed than any of the other creatures. What I mean by that is not like, he's freaking best, even though he probably is. He's not a vampire. But because Taylor marked him as one of her decision candidates, because the bride gets to choose one candidate, he's allowed to join. And Lucy knows that. Lucy knows that I am the only candidate that Taylor was allowed to decide. The rest was open invitation. As we go into this beautiful room, you see a massive table full of food, mostly bloody meat, blood bags, and some other things. As the table goes further, you see men after men after men. You see beautiful men, beautiful black hair. As you see more muscular, grizzled men, you see cuts and stuff like that scraped down. As Lucy sees Taylor's father at the top of the table. As Frankenstein thinks, he breaks all these men down to their simplest forms. Because they're only men. They're not monsters. They're only men, really. Some of them are vampires. A couple of them are actually werewolves that came for the invitation, but I don't know if they're going to be able to fight or not. Some that are cursed humans that were cursed to live forever. About 250 of them, 251, counting Lucy. As he leans back, as his chair almost cracks under the pressure of Lucy's weight, as he looks around, as he realizes that each one of them is studying every one of them else, but each one of them is overlooking Lucy. he can see it in their eyes. Oh, he's just a big oaf. Look over him. And he likes that. He smiles. He actually starts acting more in the sense of the word clumsy. He stumbles his fork around and stuff like that. He spills a little bit of wine. Make the people realize, look over. As Taylor's father stands up and says, "You all came here today tomorrow to have an entire competition for my daughter. Well, because of the massive sum that we have, we will have to do multiple contests to figure out who is the strongest. You have your own rooms. Please stay in them. You can have guests if you want, but make sure they take care of themselves." As Lucy almost smiles in a way. Take care of themselves. It makes sense. As each one of them slowly gets up, and some of them go to the room, and others still eat for a little bit longer as Taylor's dad has already left the table. As he gets up, almost moving in a way that looks like he's really clumsy, looks like he's kind of stupid, but he pushes in his chair a little bit nicely. Definitely not crushing the chair. And moves. Now he moves to his room. Now this room is a lot bigger than he's expecting. It's so big in effect that it could probably fit 5 or 6 people in here comfortably. And the bed itself can fit easily 4 or 5 people comfortably. Orgies were weird back in the day with vampires, right? As he lays in the bed itself, he's not used to the cloth, the nice bedding, as it almost sinks into it. As he realizes that this is what he's got to get used to. But he hears a knock on his door. Just a tut, 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 tut. And he stops, and then stops. Tut, 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 tut. Shit. He rushes over there a little bit, not fast, but easy speed, trying not to creak any of the floorboards, as he realizes none of the floorboards have any creaks. He opens the door as he sees Lucy. Not Lucy. He sees Taylor. Red hair, sparkling in the wind. As he easily gets pushed back by like 20 feet, and the door gets shut. As Lucy's like, "Okay, what are..." As instantaneously he feels lips on throat, hands on back, as her nails scrape into him a little bit, as it hurts a little bit, but not by much. He hugs her tight, but letting her kind of move the way she wants to move. As Taylor finally bites. Soft, though. Not like a hard one. Not using her actual teeth. Just a little nibble. As she gets off, as he finally backs away, he's like, "I just came into this house, and you already trying to kill me." As Lucy kind of smiles in a way that, a little frightening to Taylor, but funny enough. As she's like, "Frankenstein, I've always loved you. And watching you eat the food at the dinner table, staring at these men that I know will lose." As she grabs the shirt and rip it apart. It's like, "Hey, that was my..." It's like, "I will buy you 100 new ones if you want me to. But tonight, I have you." As I'm not going to state what happens. All I'm going to say, it is against Rule 53 of the contract. Vampires cannot have sex with people that they are not married with. But guess what? rules are supposed to be broken. As you see Frankenstein get up, 6 o'clock sharp. Lucy's still in the bed, covered by Frankenstein's orders, covers her completely. As 6 o'clock it hits, he buttons up his shirt as he wakes up Lucy with a little peck on the cheek and says, Lucy. Not Lucy, sorry, Taylor. Gosh dang it. Sorry, both of them are female names in my opinion. Taylor. Taylor wakes up and Taylor says, how can you... Oh yeah, you're undead. You don't need to sleep either. I need to sleep during the daytime. 6 o'clock. Ridiculous. Says, that's why we have the fights in the daytime, don't we? No. So no one has an advantage. Werewolves. Except you. I guess you could say that. As they go, Taylor walking and talking with Frankenstein for a little bit of time as the other contestants walk out of the room and are shocked completely. They're like almost getting down on their knees. Taylor, my beautiful woman. He says, no. Respect me as a woman, but do not bow to me. I am not royalty yet. As each one of them start walking, as they see how this idiot man talking to Taylor, talking to her in an intelligent format, asking her questions that not a normal person would think, especially not a vampire or at least a werewolf. What is he? You see the makeup that he wears normally to cover up the scars are starting to fade as he's almost wiping them off, almost tired of the fake makeup that he constantly has to wear. As you see green skin mixed with almost this, you can see like barbed wire, almost string wrapped, just holding up his jaw. As you can see it within his hands and the rest of his body, you can see the barbed wire just almost knitted into his skin itself. As you know, every contestant gets out and they're sitting onto these massive benches. It says there's 251 of you in all. We're gonna have to cut this number almost down to 100. That means almost 151 of you will fail this. Be ready. 1v1's competitions. As everyone's like, what the frick? What is that? What is he talking about? Is it, you're going to choose your weapon. You're going to choose a seal, sword, anything of the sort. In that realm, you'll be guys doing 1v1s. You'll be fighting one after the other until we are down to 100 people. Do you get me? As everyone's like, yeah, absolutely. As he grabs this massive bucket. As it's like, what the frick? What is going on? As he spins up the names, as he grabs out a name. Angus. As Angus, almost like a red, you see red hair, but not as red as Lucy. Oh, no, sorry, Taylor's. It's just kind of this darkish red hair with this massive, strength as, weapon of choice. As he's like, axe. As the other patient looks up and he puts the paper down, he says, Anderson. And man wakes up with black hair. He says, what do you need? He says, what is your weapon? Sword and shield. As they both walk down, you almost seem like a coliseum of something. As you see, they start fighting. Boom, boom, clashing of swords. As Anderson gets ahead, but you see, boom, hit into the body with this sword. Boom, cut off the head. Fells like an instant as you hear the announcer say, Angus won. Next opponent. As this is when he realizes, Frankenstein realizes, oh, this is what he meant. This is what he meant last night by you're going to have to kill an immense amount. As this is where we're gonna end up the video. Hope you guys like it. I'm gonna be doing a community tab post on a different video that's incredibly important if people are not knowing the dangers of the chemical that I'm helping making a video on. It might be a lower quality than I normally do. It might be higher quality than I normally do. But I want all you guys to watch it because I need you guys to, number one, give me those views. Number two, I want you guys to learn something from it and become better. So if you see that pop up in the community pass, I will also put it in the comments down below in a newer video. Hope you guys like it though, and hope you guys like this video as well. Goodbye.